Yes, guys, welcome to a very hot day in the studio. You might be hearing a little bit of background noise because I've got the fan on right next to me. Anyway, I wanted to jump on, show you my project Rinser. So I've got my side chain. It's just it copies the kick drum basically. Well, actually, I've kept where I've dropped a kick here. I've kept it in there, but that's fine. You can do either if you want that. If you want the bass to pop out a little bit more during those sections, that's how you'd do it. You'd remove that one. But in my case, I just wanted to keep it a little bit more controlled. So that's the side chain, and a few things that might be side chain to that, but it's mainly for the bass, which is track spacer as always, and my pretty standard mixing chain, which is a Pultec EQ, boosting the low end a little bit on the bass, and then probably just a low cut. Yeah, low cut there. The kick has no processing at all, just a nice fat kick drum sample, and then a little bit of processing on this group, which is a Pultec with no processing actually, but it just adds a tiny bit of harmonics on the top, so that'll be very subtle, but that's why it's there. I think the main reason I've grouped the kick and bass is so I can process these two together. Oh well, process the kick and the bass together with the filter rack and the echo timing by the look of it, which won't be doing anything because the mix, in fact the mix is on 2. That should not be there, but oh well, that's how it went to mastering. Whoops. But I've played this out a load of times now. It sounds amazing and been great, getting great reactions from it, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Yeah, then a low cut on the bass group, the bottom group, and then moving on to my drums. This will be top drums, or tops and mids. In fact, let's have a listen to the kick and bass first. Just a little MIDI pattern. You know, and you've seen me post videos of me mucking around with bass lines. It can take some time, but you know, it's this scaler helps a lot. It really does. So this is in C Phrygian. Okay, so there's the bass. Moving on to these top drums. I haven't actually EQ'd the clap at all, apart from on the group at the end with the low cut. You know, in it's a pretty typical drum. Sorry, can't think today. It's a pretty typical drum processing chain. So because this is the tops and mids, I am not boosting any bottoms in this case. Just boosting the tops at 10k. On the Pultec. The drum bus is giving it some crunch. That actually removes a lot of the frequencies around 10k, well 9.2 to be precise, but so yeah, they're being rolled off at 9.2, and then the Pultec is adding some high shelf EQ at around 10k. And then this thing, which you might have seen me use a few times, it's a filter, but yeah, again, just kind of can boost certain frequencies and add a bit of texture. A bit of glue compression, very long attack, short release. Got this. Adding a little bit of attack on the drums, and then the low cut that I showed you. And yeah, and not all of these are EQ'd. I've done that one, so I can roll off some tops and bit of side chain, a lot of side chain. Similar story on that one. Just getting the right sounds, you know, and then some simple processing. I've scooped the mids out of that because it's quite a full top loop, and obviously I've laid quite a few things up there. I've got my own clap, my own hi-hats, so yeah, scoop that out to leave a bit of room for the clap. And now the vocals is just from a sample pack. I remember that bit. It's I actually don't know the name of the sample pack, but there was some good samples in it, all from the same MC.
All the people locked in, locked on.
And they're the bits that I chose for the vocal. Haven't processed this at all, which I would. It's bad form, really. I should have EQ'd it. I think. Am I maybe looking at version 1? I could possibly be looking at a version 1 here. But it sounds like the final version to me. So we'll continue, I think. Pretty sure this is the final version. So vocal, I mean, it's a very nicely processed sample from a pack anyway, so don't need to go to town with it on, but I probably should have added an EQ on there to low cut. Let's see if there is any, just out of curiosity. Is there any unwanted low end? Not massively. Tiny bit in there, but that's okay, because I think the kick cuts out and the bass cuts out then anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But it's also not ideal. Then we've got the crash, which isn't in the drum group because I like them to be nice and bright. I've got the classic M1 organ. Such a good sound. That's the M1 organ and the vibe hit mixed together. Perk organ. It's got that proper attacky top end on it, which I love. So yeah, again, Pultec, just to giving it a bit of saturation. Chorus, probably to widen it a bit. Yeah, just spreads it a little bit. And a low cut. Then some gain to stage it into the master, because it's pretty quiet coming out the M1. Okay, so this is the bit that I couldn't really remember how I made it, and it looks like it was from this keyboard, which I thought it was. This is the main lead. Just with an EQ3 on it. I mean, this thing sounds fucking great anyway, just straight out of the box. But I also ran it through some of the gear. Definitely went through the Culture Vulture. I think it probably went through the Fatso as well. So yeah, it was compressed on the way in. A little bit of EQ. That's all it needed. Now, this is the main sample, the main recording that I sampled this from. And I'm instantly thinking, could I get more stuff from this for another track? I want to start a new track after doing this video, so maybe I'm going to use this. Because I bet there's some other bits. But as you can see, that sound didn't even make it into the track. But what I do is just flick through presets on the keyboard and play certain things that sound good to me at the time, or might sound good with a bit of editing. See, like that's sounding pretty cool. I could probably use that. A bit spooky though, don't know. Maybe it's too Halloweeny. Anyway, you get the idea. I basically just record a splurge, as I've called it, and then edited certain bits out. Then we've got the classic high string, sidechain to the death, with some automated EQ, just fading it in and out. Oops, I'll show you the automation curves. Just fading it out at the end there. Okay, these chords, they didn't make it into the track by the look of it, but I kept them muted. Kept them there and muted. Yeah, it's shit. That's why I kept it out, it's shit. Okay, I got this high pad. I was gonna say, there, it's on a fade. And I love the way this comes in at the end, actually. I mixed it in Toffler over the weekend, and as I was bringing in the next track, I was like, yes, that sounds so nice just at the end. And there's the main stab. That's Juno. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you into that really, did I? That's the JD800. Again, with some pretty simple processing, bit of saturation. Can you see a pattern here? I'm sure you're starting to see patterns in my productions now. It's essentially about getting parts that sound cohesive and then just add in the final sprinkles with some simple processing. At least that's my approach. There is some amazing software out there that you can completely transform sounds. So yeah, everybody has their own way. But to be honest, I like to just get this is like house music, you know. It's just a vibe. So yeah, again on here you've got the Juno, bit of saturation, and this sort of chain is basically just mimicking what I have over there as well in the rack. So that's essentially like my culture vulture. Then yeah, I've got some low cut happening. Got this SSL, just boosting some frequencies at certain points. Tiny bit of reverb. Let's hear it without. Very subtle, actually. Just adds a bit of high fizzle on the top, which is quite nice. There's some slight side chain, then a little riser, and that is it. That is it. So yeah, quite a simple track and made quite quickly, I think. So that's inspired me to jump back into Ableton on a fresh project and see where that takes me now. So yeah, thanks for any support on Rinser. Thanks for watching this video. See you soon.